It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back for our Vanderpump Rules recap. Now, last night, as you know, we did our Vanderpump Rules after party with Jason, and everyone loves it because he makes a cocky for you. Last night, it was called the Watermelon Mistress. And if you got a sneak peek, I guess you would see me in my underwear because Jason thought it was funny to pan the camera over. Thanks, Jason. I will be returning the favor soon. Don't worry, guys. All right, with that, all kidding aside, before we jump in, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and let's welcome Jason. Hello.
Hi. Okay, with that said, though, I always say you should wear pants.
I never wear pants.
I know. You wear pants, girl. Like when you're working, wear some pants.
I feel like that's what everybody did during the P word when everybody got to stay home because everyone would go on Zooms. They would put on like a button up and a blazer and they would just be in their underwear. And that was cool. It was the vibe.
Yeah. Well, now we don't have the P word. So wear some pants. That's the new P word, pants.
Yes. All right. Rosa, yay, we get both of you. Yeah, guys, we had a couple people in mind to collaborate with this week, but we have so many weeks left. We literally have 2 more months of Vanderpump Rules recaps, and that might even bleed into June with the pickup parts of post-production and the reunion. So we have so many fun collaborations coming. Actually, if you didn't catch the after party last night, before we get into all of the madness of this episode, we do have a very special guest joining us for our Vanderpump Rules members only live this upcoming Monday. Jason, can you let them know if they don't?
Yes, absolutely. By the way, is this our first time recapping an episode this season together? Besides the after parties? I think it is.
It might be.
Well, that's crazy. Anyway, so if you join us on our Monday night members only lives, we are doing like the Vanderpump Rules edition, behind the curtain kind of deal, where we share our stories, our memories, and kind of our really in-depth thoughts and knowledge on the Vanderpump restaurant bubble that we used to work in with all of these people you're watching on the show. But this Monday, Richardson is going to join us, and we're going to talk about our experiences in the restaurants. Because like I said on our last night's after party, is when you work in these restaurants, right? You know how everyone complains, and I do complain the most about this, about there's no diversity on Vanderpump Rules. There's no representation for the gay community, even though all 3 of her restaurants sit in the heart of Boys Town.
Yeah.
When you actually work at the restaurants, there is that identity there. Like everyone is there. It's diverse. It's represented. And you don't get to see that on the show. So it's kind of fun to talk about what doesn't happen on the show at the restaurants.
I agree with you. Jason, by the way, last night we took a page from Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens Live show. And I wanted to play a drinking game while Jason was talking, since you guys were all drinking cocktails. And I totally Leah McSweeney'd it because I am not drinking right now. So I was like, let me just watch everybody else get lit. And the word was Tom. Judy said, I got drunk on tequila shots and lime. I think everybody might have got drunk because Jason was like, God. When Tom said, and Tom and Rachel, and I was like, drink again. He's like, what are you typing? I'm like, keep drinking. But
those after parties are crazy. Like, listen, I think, I'll drink like the day we do the after party. Like I'll have some wine while I get ready and like try to make a recipe. But what I'm starting to do, guys, is if you join us for the after party, like we'll put up the after party probably this weekend, and I'll already have the recipe for the drink if you guys want to make it with me. It's just kind of fun. I do a play on all of the cocktails at the Vanderpump restaurants.
Yes. All right. Well, with that, Jason, shall we?
But should we start with the episode, or are we going to start with Watch What Happens Live?
We're going to build the room, and we're going to get to Watch What Happens Live because
this shirt I'm wearing today, by the way, Up and Adam Live, you can get this merch. I actually love this shirt. It fits me like a glove, so this is great. But this Tom right here is not Tom Sandoval today. It's Tom Schwartz. Girl, bye. Crazy.
Girl, bye. In the words
crazy.
Of Shaley. Okay, I do want to say too, we have almost 100 likes. Once we get to 300 likes in the room, we will get into the Watch What Happens Live, but we have time because there's a lot to discuss. Now, we pick up the episode where we left off, and that's with James and Ariana going back and forth. She's had enough. We're supposed to be celebrating wedding bliss. It's Scheana's second wedding. Second time's the charm, not the third, the second. And Tom Sandoval starts giving James a little bit of maybe words of encouragement. I don't know. And he's like, listen, sometimes, James, with great power comes great responsibility.
I know. I think I rolled my eyes like in the back of my head.
I mean, James was like, who the does he think he is? Uncle Ben from Spider-Man? Shut the fuck up with that. And I'm like, can you do a James impression? Can you do James?
No, I can't. I can't.
Please.
When I do the after party, I have like 3 drinks in me. I can do whatever you want, but like, no. No,
Okay.
but he does get kind of erratic. Like, he's like, there, bottom end, you know, like, who do you think it is? I'm DJ James Kennedy. And it's like, dude, you're driving me nuts. Like, sometimes he drives me nuts.
But it's great TV.
Although I kind of agree with James a lot this particular episode, which we'll get into in a second.
Yes. All right. So we're going to get back to the fight of it all. But before we do, Katie and Tom go out and they're trying to have a nice dinner because really for the fans, I get where production was going with this. We're going to be behind the fourth wall this whole time. We're going to look at this from what Jason and I have seen being around them actually filming the show and being around the producers. Jeremiah is a great guy. He's been around the cast for a long time. And he's seen some shit for sure. But with Katie and Tom, I think what production tried doing here was giving closure to the fans because so far this season, we only see sort of a lot of downs in this relationship, but rightfully so. We're going through a divorce. There's a reason that they're getting a divorce. It means that they cannot agree and they might not necessarily be getting along. Not everybody is kumbaya, like, okay, everything's okay. We just fell out of love. Let's go our separate way. Not everybody is Dolores and Frank, and it took them a long time to get there. But as they're talking and celebrating this French restaurant of a dinner in Mexico, talking about celebrating the sale of their home and their divorce, shit goes downhill really quick.
It does. And, you know, like I was kind of admirable at the beginning and I was kind of like, wow, you guys are like, this is great. You know, obviously, you know, I think Katie said it best was, you know, I know he loved me, that I don't think he liked me. And it's very, very obvious. I actually, for the first time ever, you know, because I'm not a huge fan of Katie on the show. I like her as a person, but I felt bad for her. You know, it's like, yeah, get away from that 100% because he never had your back in the marriage. He doesn't have your back now, you know, even as a friend. It's very like, listen, if you're wrong, I'll tell you later, but I'm always going to have your back. You know what I mean? Like you and I, but it never was like that with them. They never had a great like thing going on.
Well, and I feel like too for Katie, I feel like, you know, she wins and she loses in this sense because, you know, she is playing the husband-wife card, but you totally lose that card when you file for divorce. And then she's like, you're going to take Brock's side, who you've talked to 3 times this year because you're his groomsman, which we know he's a groomsman because it fits into the show, just like Ariana was a groomswoman because it fit into the show. We know how this works, okay? So I get what she's trying to say here, but you no longer, unfortunately, take priority when you are the one who initiated a divorce. Like, I couldn't even tell you. I feel like this was pretty chill for a divorce celebration of a dinner because Jason and I would probably take a page out of the New Jersey handbook and be flipping.
One of us wouldn't be living, so that's one thing. But you know, it's not possible. I don't think they've really taken the time to realize that this is it. You know, and that it just feels kind of like leftover things. They're going back into the same arguments, the same things that drove them to where they are now. It doesn't seem worth it. It's like maybe you really just need to separate for a while, and that can happen later down the road. But those feelings are still, you know, they're still there. They're still, you know, it's too new. It's too new.
I think it's too new too. And I think that for Tom Schwartz too, you know how like everybody says that they see 2 sides to Louis. I feel like for him, he's like, you could tell where he's getting ready to just like rip into Katie. And then all of a sudden the waiter comes back over and he's like, you know, Katie, it's actually, and then the waiter walks over and he's like, how is everything? And he's like, oh, it's so good. Thank you so much.
Vladimir. That could just be like, I noticed that too, but I'm like, this is what makes him a good, like, mascot for his restaurant. You know what I mean? Because he can do that. He can play to all of that. And But I see what you're saying, and it's definitely as this episode goes on, as we've seen Schwartz this season, as much as Katie can be a pain in the butt, like I wouldn't want to be married to Schwartz either.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Ebony Dix, for the love and support, I agree, Rosa. Members only have been lit. Hey, guys, thank you.
Hey, thanks.
We're so excited that everybody's loving them so far. We've only gotten positive feedback, so thank you. Except for one person
seriously.
who messaged me and said, "Shut the f up about the members only." And I was like,
Bye, girl.
"Girl, bye." Except without the Tom on that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're gonna pan back over to this dinner that's going on that Christina Kelly crashed, because we have James who's realizing in the moment, you know what, I fucked up. Ariana, I apologize. I didn't mean to get, heated with you like that. Will you accept my apology? And I'm like, there you go, James. That's good. That's progress. And then he goes, by the way, Scheana, you're going on that catamaran tomorrow? Lala said she's not going. Are you going, Lala? Yep, she's not going. And Scheana goes, what the Lala? And Lala goes, why? Why did you need to? Why was that necessary? And he's like, well, you weren't going to go. So James was literally like, if you're going to tip me, I'm going to tat you.
Yeah, that's how it seems. Although I don't understand why Lala wouldn't go. Like, does Raquel hold that much over you?
No, she said she doesn't feel safe with Rachel.
Why doesn't she feel safe with Rachel? What is Rachel going to do?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a great question. Is like, what in the live chat, I'm curious, guys, what about Rachel makes Lala feel unsafe? Do you think it's because she feels like she's in a vulnerable place right now with everything going on with Randall, that she like knows she has the ability to just tear into somebody's face, and she doesn't want to let herself get there because she's going through a custody battle and everything's being watched? Like, is that the safety issue that she's talking about? Because she for damn sure is not worried about Rachel putting hands on her. Like, that's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's safety.
I don't know. It's it seems like, I don't know. Lots of hypocrisy from Lala in this past few episodes, especially in this episode that I'm going to get into and explain how I feel. Again, really love Lala, but I feel like when you're on a high horse, right? Like, she's on a high horse right now. She's separated. She knows everything. She's sober, which is amazing. We talked about her sobriety journey on our podcast, actually, and it's amazing.
I think it's 4 years now.
I feel like she wants to teach everyone from the lessons she's had, but she's made those mistakes. You know what I mean? And everyone deals with mistakes differently. So we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I don't know. If you're there to support Scheana on her wedding, and this is what the girls are doing, why wouldn't you go on the catamaran? Definitely Raquel was an excuse.
And I think it's one of those things too, when you start a sobriety journey, I feel like people are rooting for you, but then they also don't want you to be that annoying person who all of a sudden they're used to you being one way, and then you start preaching to the rest of the group because you decided to make change. I feel like if you're going to be sober and, that's your journey and you still want to keep the same friends, that's your journey. That's something that you decided, 100%. A decision you made for yourself. You can't project that on other people. They don't have the same problem you do, maybe.
And I don't even know if it's a projection thing that she has, but when she is all good in whatever she's all good in, she loves to tell everybody how to get there or what they're doing wrong. Like when she was with Randall, she had the best relationship ever. The most amazing. Let me tell you how we have such a good we have it. I got it. We're good. You know what I mean? And you throw that in people's faces, and now look, it's the same thing, like when they were on the catamaran with Allie and her going up to James. Now, to my knowledge, Lala only had a hookup with James, or a couple hookups or whatever during the time with Raquel. Not a full-blown relationship, but here's Lala offering advice to Allie about, this is how James is. You get kind of warped into this thing, and it's exciting and all that stuff, all this weird advice. And it's like, let her figure that out for herself. She's a big girl, and you weren't in a relationship with James.
Right.
If anyone's going to offer advice to Allie, it's going to be Raquel. But I mean, that's the last person you want to take a relationship advice from at this point, right?
Right, because Lala was more in a situationship with James.
Right.
That's what it was. You guys were having fun. You were running around together, and you guys knew that you were the two villains on the show. So it's just like you were fueling each other's fires. But someone said in the live chat, and I thought that was an interesting point. I just had it up here for forever, that they don't think it was a safety issue for Lala. They feel honestly that she just wanted to spend time with Katie and Christina, her girls. And
I thought the same thing.
Really?
Because now we have this awkward dynamic, right? Because of Scheana and Katie, like, not necessarily agreeing on everything, that she can't be a part of it. And there's this awkward dynamic going on, especially when, Katie and Christina, who aren't invited to any of the festivities or whatever, are at the pool by themselves or having dinner right next to like the big party of the night. It's just awkward. It's like they should all just be in one place at that point.
Right. Right. Michelle said Lala was there as a bridesmaid, but wasn't acting like one. I mean,
Get your ass on the
I get
catamaran.
both sides of this too. Okay, so Lala was saying in her confessional, she's like, Jesus, it's like we have the spa day, you have the breakfast, you have the rehearsal dinner, the rehearsal for the rehearsal dinner, then you have the actual dinner, then we're going on a catamaran, then we have to go to the pool, then we have to go hang out after the pool. So she's
Have you
listing.
been to a wedding?
Right.
Especially a destination wedding. Everything is planned. There's always a schedule. There's like this, then there's that. That's just how it goes. You're at a wedding,
I also
So
love when somebody gives me an itinerary.
I mean,
Give,
I do too, to be honest.
yeah.
I love having my little boundaries and like, okay, we're doing this, so I know what I can do to get myself ready to do this. So if there's a schedule, just prepare yourself.
Well, and also too, let's not sleep on the fact that you're getting paid a ton of money to be on this vacation, and you don't have to come out of pocket for anything unless you just want to spend the money on, like, let's say like you want to buy some clothes for yourself or whatever, but your room is covered by production. You're getting paid a lot of money to go on the vacation, to go there, to hang out with your girls, to be a part of a wedding. It's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
This isn't the end of the
Agreed.
world. But
Agreed. I mean, especially a bridesmaid, you want to be there to support Scheana. Now, remember, we see all the twists and turns and the things that you wish you could go back and do. On Jersey, we're watching Melissa and Joe are not going to be going to Melissa's wedding. And that's like missed opportunity because you don't know what the future holds, because that's always going to be a grudge held. Say Louis and I know I'm getting off track here, but Louis and Teresa, like, they make it, they're doing well. And then later down the line, you kind of close the gap in that relationship with Melissa and Joe, and you guys are all hanging out. She's always going to remember you didn't attend the wedding. So like being a bridesmaid at Scheana's wedding, it's better to be the bridesmaid who supports, who goes and does everything, because now you guys have a house next door to each other in Palm Springs. And now you have those, you know what I mean? Like, it's always best to just put your best foot forward, girl. So I'm glad she went on the catamaran, but on the catamaran, I just didn't love that whole conversation with Allie.
Absolutely. JLo5 said, question, does Christina Kelly get paid to be on the show? She absolutely gets paid to be on the show, but if I had to guess, it's only one of two ways. She's definitely not salaried. She's either a day rate, which would be a very low day rate, or she's probably getting paid anywhere from $60,000 or less to be on the show.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know how it works. I know, new cast members, they come on and they make like, what, it's like $3,000 for their first season or something not worth doing.
But she gets to pick up where she left off. So I believe
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. That's how it works for the tier program. They look at it as like she's been in, I believe it was 3 seasons. So this would be her 4th, but also they could structure it as like a day rate where it's like, maybe not that great of a day rate. So
yeah,
she's not getting paid a lot of money.
But then again, here's the exposure, the Bravo seniority.
Right. Lulu said 60,000 is nothing to sneeze at. I 100%. I'm saying that compared to the other cast members who are making 600,000+. Also, when she gets paid 60,000, you have to remember like 40% of that is going to California state taxes, and federal taxes. So she doesn't just keep $60,000. She's probably walking at the end of it with like 30, which is still a lot of money, right? But compared to her co-stars, no.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it doesn't hold a candle.
I mean, that's like minimum wage in California at this point. Like you need that to get by at least, which is crazy.
I mean, all right. So I want to get to the Katie of it all. Now, after this situation, Katie and Christina meet up in the room to talk. And when they're talking, she was like, listen, I don't think honestly, it is what it is. He's never defended me. And Christina's reminding her, Katie, I think that this is just a reminder of why you're leaving him in the first place. And ding dong, we have a visitor.
Lord have mercy. And right here, this is so funny. This is why I pulled this photo, because right here you can see Katie's body language towards Raquel, almost like she knows everything. But
Look at
this
Christina
is,
looking down like, oh shit.
yeah, what an awkward moment. What did you think about this moment?
Well, I mean, they go from talking about the disaster of a dinner, and when Raquel shows up, I thought that Raquel was going to say something to Katie like, hey, I know that this is kind of awkward. You know, I think that we had a miscommunication and got off on a bad foot. And I just wanted to say to you, can we restart? Not even necessarily, and I'm sorry, but is there
I
any way
thought the
that we can
same
restart?
thing.
I did not expect her to come in and be like, well, Scheana sent me over here to tell you that you are no longer welcome in any of the preferred access areas of the resort, whether it's the pool, like anything wedding. She just doesn't want you to be there. And then Christina Kelly's like, am I a part of that? And she's like, actually, yes. You are also, she doesn't want you to be there either. And Katie's just like, hold on. Can I just play this really quick? You want to see what Katie thought? Let me play this for you real quick. This is exactly what Katie said about last night's episode. You guys are going to freaking die. If you didn't watch my pre-record from this morning, if you did, I'm replaying it right now. Hold on.
Okay, cool.
Well, tonight was a spicy Vanderpump Rules night. Starting with that terrible dinner I had with Schwartz that just probably shouldn't have happened. But you know, it served a purpose, we'll say that. And then with Rachel coming to my room to tell me where I can and can't go, don't ever do that.
See?
Ever. Because I will do what I want. And then ending with that creepy uncle kiss. Like, looking back, like, I don't even know why I was tripping over that, but like, whatever. And then watch what happens live. Tom, I have 2 words for you. Media training. Because you're just going to say whatever lands in your head, and that's not good.
Wow. Okay. She's spot on with that. I cannot wait to get to watch what happens live, because I have thoughts too.
I mean,
but
we all
media
have
training,
thoughts.
There's a lot of training that needs to happen. Etiquette training, because like, you know, like Tom at the dinner table last night, chewing, you know, bread and talking at the same time, like not being able to dress, comb his hair. Like, we have so much to talk about.
I feel like the way
It's
we're being total Rick and Kelly's right now, like with the impersonations.
Okay, hold up here.
Rick and Kelly, aren't they in St. Bart's?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't.
Kelly.
Why does that make me laugh? No, we're not being Rick and Kelly's.
Okay, so hold on. Hold on. Okay, let's get back to it for a second. So then we have Rachel go back down to the party, and Scheana was like, hey, where did you go? And she's like, so I went to talk to Katie's. I went to talk to Katie, and I told her that she is not welcome. And Scheana goes, I freaking love you. And then she says in her confessional, to be honest with you, when I said a bridesmaid needs to tell her, I didn't think that she would actually go tell her. She's like, I was kind of joking about it. But Rachel was like, this is my moment. And I'm like, Rachel, she literally ran with the witches of WeHo. Kristen, Stassi, Katie. It's, you got to back down, girl. You're not a match. Like, maybe Christina Kelly? Sure.
Yeah.
Charlie? Maybe. Allie? I mean, why would you go after Allie? She's like the sweetest girl ever. But like, not Katie, not Lala. And obviously she went after Scheana, and that got proved false. Anyways, okay. We're going to keep it going. Now, Brock is having a guys' day, sort of day club party.
God.
Yes.
Can we ask... Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but can we ask the live chat, because I see it rolling right now, if you would rather be, because we asked this last night on our after party, would you rather be at the pool hanging out with Katie and Christina? Would you rather be at that Brock groomsmen event, or would you rather be on the catamaran with Scheana? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. I mean,
the pool looked great. Okay.
I'm not changing my answer. I still say I would have rather been. The catamaran had floaties. You could float in the ocean. Scheana said that the water's so warm. It was crystal clear blue. Nothing can eat me in a pool, but people piss in pools, and I don't like pools because of that reason. I mean,
Especially
honestly,
at resorts.
yeah, when Rachel's like, so the preferred pool is the swim up pool with the swim up bar. That's a bar that's inside of the pool that you can get like drinks at. That's the pool you're not allowed at. I'm sitting there thinking, yes, you swim up to this pool, girl, but then you swim up to the pool and you're drinking the pool. It's like when you go to your local KOA and you go camping and everybody has their cooler on the side of the pool and they're not getting out. They just keep opening more drinks and then they're pissing in the pool. It's a big cesspool.
And the thing is, though, about that is like, it's so funny to listen to her tell Katie and Christina, who have worked in the hospitality industry for a long time, right? And VIP hospitality, like, if they want to get in somewhere or go somewhere, they will find a way. You know what I mean? It's so funny. So you're not allowed here.
It's, like, so funny. Everybody's saying, well, for the most part, it's definitely the catamaran and the pool. But I think I'm seeing more pool than catamaran, which is really, what did you
Are
choose,
you
Jason?
not seeing it? Maybe we just don't have a heavy gay audience today, but no one wants to be at Brock's groom's thing. I mean, I don't, and I'm gay, but that was probably the gayest thing I've ever seen.
Where they're all wearing the Speedos with a drag sort of Brock, and then they're all touching each other's peepees.
Yeah, and smacking each other's asses. I mean, James put it the right way. He's like, I've lived a life. Like, I've lived in London, I've lived in Ibiza, I've lived in these places, and I'm open to some stuff, but this is just kind of weird. And I was like, yeah, it is. I mean, like, listen, we've seen weird things, but it was just, I think, the actual people that we're talking about doing, it was just strange. It was such a, what did James say? Broagra? Take some Broagra and be like, yeah, man. You know?
Yeah. Renee said,
So
Adam
funny.
is jealous
No,
of
thanks.
Raquel. I'm not jealous. She does have a better nose job, though. I will say that.
Girl.
Brock is so handsome. Yeah, Brock is a good-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy.
With his haircut, he is like, he went from like an 8 to a 10.
Yeah. No, and I think the cool part is, too, especially from my time being around them for the party, he's just such a good freaking dad to their baby. And he loves Scheana. So I'm Team Brock all day. But listen, who wants to talk about the team anything? We want to talk about the shit show that is happening on Vanderpump Rules. Okay, now pan over. We have drunk Schwartzy. Not in this moment, but this is another drunk Schwartzy. And he thought the girl dancing in the pool was Raquel. And Tom was like, is it? I don't think it is. And goes on to mention that him and Ariana check out women and men together. I wasn't surprised by this, but I was reading all over Twitter. Our live chat really behaved last night. By the way, guys, 900 in the room. I told you we'll get to watch what happens live as soon as you hit 300 likes. Right now we have 200. So keep smashing that like button if you want to talk about the Watch What Happens Live shenanigans. Sorry, Scheana, I didn't mean to steal that from you. But my whole thing is getting back to it. I was reading on Twitter, people are like, Tom's bisexual, Tom. You can't just assume that somebody might be playing for both teams. Can you?
He just let you know that he didn't say he was bi, but he maybe appreciates a male figure. Listen, I can kind of relate to that because we're gay, obviously, but I can tell you when I see a beautiful woman.
Speak for yourself.
No, but yeah, hell yeah, absolutely. So
yeah,
maybe I have bi eyes. I might have bi eyes. You know what I mean?
I have bi eyes, but one tries.
Or maybe, I was thinking I maybe he was a trisexual and he tried it and he didn't like it. And that was, like his thing. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, whatever. Who knows? Who knows?
Okay. Now,
I think and I don't know how people feel about this. Sorry. God, I'm interrupting you a lot today and I feel bad.
No, it's okay.
I feel like women have, like Ariana, I feel like women are just more comfortable with themselves in general, and they explore more of that. They're just more connected, so sometimes I think like, it would be easier for a girl to be bi.
Okay, I don't know where this conversation's going, but
No, I'm just saying, like, Ariana, maybe, everyone says, I mean, she's even said she's kind of fluid, right? But like, I don't think it's really hard to label it.
yeah, that's why I don't agree with labeling people, because I feel like once you start labeling people, you're speaking on their behalf. And we learned at our live show, Ariana does not like when people speak on her.
Well,
Speak.
I only bring that up because everyone is slamming her too. You see, well, it's her fault too. She was bisexual and she hooked up with Lala in the backseat of the car, and I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like she didn't want to have sex with him anyway. That not necessarily. We don't know that. So, but I was just saying it's kind of, I don't know.
Well, also, to be fair, if you watch the mid-season trailer, when she said that she didn't want to have sex with him, she said it was because she felt like she was having sex with a total stranger. And if you're out here having sex with everybody else, because we heard about the rumored bandmate that got fired because you allegedly hooked up with her, we know that you were having this affair with Rachel. So if you're out here hooking up with all of these other people while trying to open $1 million bar and also running this band with like 9 other people on it and putting on a whole freaking Broadway musical, yeah, when do you have time to pay attention to your girlfriend at the time, especially who is talking about struggling with mental health and emotional distress? It just screams asshole. But
yeah, it's bad.
Okay. Yes. I heard a rumor 3-4 days ago. Other podcasters have broadcasted that Sandoval is already cheating on Rachel. What do you say, boys? Well, Jax Taylor was the one who put that out there. I mean, would I be surprised? No, because he cheated on Kristen. He cheated on Ariana with Miami Girl, cheated on Ariana with Rachel, cheated on Ariana allegedly with a bandmate. No, I wouldn't be surprised
level
if he cheated
of
on Rachel.
narcissism is crazy though. Like, Tom loves Tom. Like, that. Like, Tom literally loves Tom. Yeah, he thinks he is a legend in his own right. So, like, to see him, like, even you just notice things now too. Like we always say, we're watching this show through a different lens right now. And you see Tom, he just really enjoys his thoughts. Like, I have this great idea. And then he's like dancing. He's like, yeah, man. Like, just like telling himself he's got the moves, and it's crazy when someone is like that and they love themselves so much. They're capable of anything. Here's the thing that I see a lot of is a lot of people are saying, and I said this last night on the after party, a lot of people are saying, how you get him is how you lose him, which I agree with. But here's the thing is, they were in an adult relationship. They weren't in their 20s, their young 20s. They're like 22. I'm working at SUR. I'm whatever, a party kid. They've established a relationship, Ariana and Tom, of almost a decade, right? And they have a house together. They were making moves together and stuff like that. So this is it sits a little different that someone would go behind her back for so many months, 7, 8, maybe 9 months, and have this secret and have this deceptiveness. It's just like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy. It is not the same thing. And we heard Tom Schwartz on Watch What Happens Live talk about how he wanted to do the right thing, but we'll get into that. But this is what makes it different than like the Kristen Tom situation,
Right. And also, I didn't realize Tom Sandoval is younger than Ariana Madix. She's 37 and he is 35. So interesting. Okay, so let's pan back over. We're leaving Mexico for a second and we're back at Villa Rosa. 1,000 in the room, guys. Smash that like button. Now, Lisa Vanderpump is talking to her husband, Ken, while they're waiting for Pandora, her daughter, her son-in-law, Jason Sabo, and her cute little grandbaby, Teddy, to come over for probably some, I don't know, high tea or whatever rich people do. Which,
Vanderpump Rosé.
I'm actually not jealous of Rachel, but I am jealous of them. I will say that. Now, I love that we get into the conversation where Lisa is stepping into this motherly role, because part of me is like, you are way overstepping. But for her, she's looking at them like, I've been around these guys for 10 years and I just want to help them. And she's trying to tap into that because they're paying the lease on this building. Greg is their partner. Greg keeps delaying the opening because he wants everything to be perfect, because this is his thing. This is what he does for a living. He opens up businesses. And she said, I want to pull him aside and tell him to pull his finger out of his ass.
I mean, it's hard to know what to believe though, right?
Like, was this for production?
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Or what? from what we've seen, like Tom Sandoval hasn't put much effort into pushing this opening. Tom Schwartz is kind of lackadaisical when it comes to like that business anyway. Lackadaisical. What am I saying? I can't talk today. So they're kind of like sloths. They're moving at a very slow pace,
Oh,
and it needs to open. I don't think it's all on Greg.
okay. By the way, you guys are right. He was born in he was born July 7th, 1983. His birthday is the day after mine, Tom Sandoval. I thought it said
my age.
Let me just bring this up really quick because I just want you guys to know that I was not looking into it and just trying to assume that I knew. I literally just Googled it really quick and it said 35 years old. And that was the first thing that I read off. So that was my problem. Sorry, guys.
Maybe he changed his Wikipedia.
Probably. Oh my God, Adam, you swore. Vicky, LVP swore. She said, take your finger out of your ass. I did not say that. Well, I repeated it. I'm a repeat offender. But
you are a repeat offender.
It's funny because in this moment, the Toms think that they can open in 10 days, yet they're spending 5 of those days in Mexico.
Again, this goes to my point. Like, Tom Schwartz was also complaining that Sandoval spent time working on the band and escaping and doing his thing. But like, it seems like there's a lot of like not focus happening. And it's not only Greg to blame. You have 3 people or business partners together. I guess there's a 4th. Is Brett one of the business partners? The manager? I think I heard he was at one point or something like that. Anyway, you have multiple partners here. And yes, we have seen signs. We saw when Tom was opening how like not structured they are. Right. So It's not all on Greg. Lisa knows that.
Well, that's what she said. She's like, I don't think he knows who he's getting in business with.
Right.
All right. Well, let's go back to Mexico. So everybody board your Delta Airlines right now because we are checking in, going through TSA. If you're not pre-TSA, well, just check your ass in the regular line. And we are headed back. Here we are at the white party. Vanessa D, no worries, Adam. Love you anyways. Thank you. I'm human and I make mistakes. Shit happens. Anyways, back at the welcome white party. James and Allie, this is right before James and Allie talk about the advice that Lala ended up giving her. Now, James was not happy about this because he wants to know why. Why don't you focus on your own life? Because you ended up getting with this guy for a fucking pickleball court. You ended up getting engaged to Fat Man. I'm like, he really is funny. I mean,
he's funny. I mean, and I agree with everything he said this episode. I agreed that he apologized to Ariana and the way he handled that. I agreed the way he, has treating Allie so far with of course, the fight with Ariana. He's not wrong.
Right. But this goes back to the tit for tat, which they are both very good at, because Lala is attacking James in her confessionals, talking about how he sucks people in. And then James was literally like, oh yeah, by the way, Scheana, Lala's not going on the catamaran. And then Lala's like, okay, bitch, I got your number, goes on the catamaran and tells Allie to be careful. And she's like, no, I know. And she's like, no, but it's going to get worse. And then Allie brings that back.
Yeah, but this is the thing that I have the problem with. Like I said earlier, is Lala is putting her own thoughts onto things. It's like, whenever she's in a good place or she feels good, she loves to teach and point fingers at everyone else. And this is not, it doesn't, who knows if it's going to get worse, because Allie isn't you. Allie is not Raquel. You were not in a relationship with James, right? You were in a situationship or whatever the hell you called it, right? So situationship. So it's different. And I agree with James here. Like, back off.
What did you think about Rob Lowe's son last night when he was asked, do you think that James is moving too fast with Allie? And he said yes.
Listen, to each their own when it comes to this, and it depends on the person.
I mean, we moved in together after how long? 2 months? A month and a half?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, there was things happening, like you were moving and it was just very convenient. You know what I mean? But it depends. It's to each their own, right? Like, we were very comfortable with each other. And hello, 10 years later, here we are. Yeah, it just depends. It really depends.
Yeah. I mean, guys, I want to ask you in the live chat what your thoughts are about this. Do you think, because people were going off in the live chat earlier saying that the way that he's telling her how to dress, the way that he's saying, you know, do the spinny thing. Okay, you just embarrassed me because you didn't do the spinny thing. Like some people are saying that some people are saying that he's coming off a little like anxious and also a little controlling. But this is all an edit too. But then is it, because it's still you are the one who's putting this out there being edited?
What I think it is when it comes to that spinny thing at the party, it's like he wants to show off that they are doing so well, that he is in this relationship, and it's so great. Look how beautiful and amazing she is, which she is, you know, and when she doesn't partake in that like kind of showmanship with him, then he got kind of like pissy. But other than that,
I think she sometimes looks at it though, because Allie's a very smart girl. I think that sometimes, and she said this in her confessionals, I think sometimes she reads through the putting on a show for everybody else around, because you have to think about it. She's not used to being around the cameras like this, like the rest of them are. And she also knows what her relationship has been like with him leading up to the point before the cameras came on. Because
has she not been on a show before?
She was on some Nashville or Texas reality. Yes, some bullshit show that didn't do anything. So this is like a real actual hit show. I'm not trying to diss her.
I was gonna say what, Nashville, Texas? Like, what's that about?
No, I'm saying it was like, she's like, I'm going to college in Nashville and I'm gonna be a songwriter. And then it was all of a sudden she was on stage and she was in like an auditorium and she's like, don't go chasing like, and she was singing country versions of just different songs. And the guy was like, that's amazing, Allie. Keep going. I'm just waiting for a different name to come out. Like Raquel is actually Rachel. Is Allie like, I don't know who.
I don't really call a Raquel Rachel, only because I respect so many Rachels all over the world and they didn't do anything wrong. But yeah.
Okay. No, but getting back to it, I think that Allie really, she's incredibly smart and she's super sweet. And I think that she reads through these moments where she feels like James might be putting on for the camera and she doesn't really necessarily know how to also turn that button on, you know, like how Lala said, I don't just rip people's heads off every single day when there's no cameras around, but I do understand I have a contract and I need to turn it on when they are.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right.
Agreed.
So let's go over really quick, because before this white party happened, Christina Kelly snuck over to Scheana's room. Wow, 1,200 in the room, everyone. Hello. We're going to get to watch what happens live in a minute. We're just getting through the rest of this episode. But Christina Kelly went over to have an adult, mature conversation. I really appreciate this conversation because, as you could see from the Skanky Girls quinceañera dress comment about the last wedding, making fun of Scheana, talking shit about Scheana, and then having the audacity to show up to Scheana's wedding uninvited. Yeah, that kind of just makes you like, what are you doing? Right? But she gets it. She went with Katie to support Katie. Production wanted Katie to go, obviously. I get exactly why Christina Kelly is there, but I like seeing the evolution and how much she has grown as a person to be able to say, even though this doesn't align with how Katie feels about Scheana, I can form my own opinion. I'm not just going to be Katie's puppet, and I can go have a conversation and be like, I know I said some shit about you in the past. I just want to apologize, and I would like to move forward, and I don't want to bring any bad energy to your wedding. And Scheana received it.
No, and I thought that was great because, listen, we talk about all the time, like, you know, even with Lala, like people evolve, right? Look who she's turned into, you know, from that first, you know, Lauren from Salt Lake into who she is now, and her journey. She's evolving, like she's growing. It just is a testament to Christina's like age, maturity, like time has moved on. You don't always have to be thinking the same thing, doing the same thing. I thought it was a great conversation, and I'm really happy that Scheana received it that way because, you know, Scheana has been very kind of like off put. Okay, Christina's coming. She came to my dinner and crashed my dinner with Lala. I think this was a good conversation. It didn't make Katie very happy because I felt like Katie thought she had a sidekick and that she feels safe with Christina, and she's like, why would you give that to Scheana? But then I'm sure Katie and Scheana will ultimately have a conversation like that too.
No, and I think that they have over the scandal of it all. I think that they've come back together and put these things behind them. But it's Carla totally hit the nail on the head with this one. Katie was PO'd that Christina spoke to Scheana and apologized. At her age, the whole "if I'm mad at them, you need to be too" is weird energy. And that eye roll Katie gave Christina when she said that, it's so true. It's like, I understand. I think, and we talked a little bit about this during the after party when Jason was sipping on his watermelon mistress.
Okay.
And you literally showed me in my underwear, so this is fair.
Okay.
I think Katie looked at it in that moment like, Lala has to come and go. I understand that. She's there for the wedding, but she's also kind of sneaking in to be there for me as well. Christina is the one person I can rely on to be there the whole time, and I'm not going to be alone. But now Christina decided to take it upon herself to go and make that conversation happen. And I feel like Katie's like, oh, is this potentially am I just going to be in Mexico all by myself as if she's like on some island and not at a beautiful resort? I think that's how she's looking at it. I feel like she's very much so in her feelings.
Totally. And she is in her feelings. Like, she's dealing with Tom still. You know what I mean? Like, that's frustrating in itself. But I understand how Katie might feel like that, but I also understand why Christina probably wanted to talk to Scheana and just clear the air. Clear the air from like years of bad blood,
Yeah.
That's okay.
All right. So we're going to bring up this one really quick. So now Scheana, Tom, Ariana, Brock, and Raquel have Tom Schwartz at the table.
Lord.
And when they do, they're still bringing Katie up. Mind you, Katie is right across the way at a different table watching the entire white party, literally as she's eating dinner with Christina Kelly. And Tom Schwartz is like, Katie, talking about Katie after Scheana was like, how was the conversation? Give me the cliff notes. What happened? And he's like, I feel like I got closure. Ariana's like, again, with the how many times are you going to get closure? He's like, listen, Bubba is, stop calling her Bubba. Scheana says, you have to stop. No, she's my Bubba. She's not your Bubba. She's not your Bub. She's not your Bubba. She's not your B. She's not your nothing. Nothing to you. She's your divorcee. Okay. How did you feel about this conversation?
I mean, I agree with everyone when it comes to the whole Bubba thing. Like, they have to separate. We just watched how they still haven't dealt with hashing out old feelings and old things. So yeah, I do agree, that he has to like move on.
Yeah, but also, I'm not going to lie. I understand you do what's best for the business. You're filming a TV show. When Tom Sandoval said to Tom Schwartz, I don't want her in our restaurant, I would simply say, piss off. Stop telling me what to do. This is a business that we're doing together. I think it's like, you cannot go into business with someone and then feel like they're pulling rank constantly. You don't get to pull rank
all the time. And you see him do it all the time.
Yeah, he talks to Schwartz like he's stupid.
But I mean, Schwartz allows it at this point. I mean, this is not a new thing. Like, Tom Sandoval didn't start talking to Tom Schwartz like this. He didn't start talking to him like this now. He's been talking to like this since, I don't know, Tom Schwartz has been on the show.
But I think that's why I feel like he's created this space for Tom Schwartz to be like inferior to him a little bit. And every once in a while he'll stand up for himself, like last night when he was throwing Tom Sandoval under the bus. But it's like, and then he thinks it's cute to walk up and awkwardly ask, like, ladies, can you just cuff your ears? Katie, can you please trim my armpit hair? Like, he does these little baby things, and Lala and Christina even pointed it out. Like, sometimes he's just awkward and he like walks away like a little puppy and you feel bad for him. And Lala was like, why the am I feeling bad for him? Yeah, no, I agree. He does do this thing, and you watch What Happens Live where he plays this kind of like, oh man, like, it's that kind of like whatever he's trying to do, but like it doesn't come off well. And maybe that's why Tom feels like he can talk to Tom like that. I don't know. But weird, man. Like, Katie, you escaped early on because Schwartz seems like a little lost when it comes to thoughts and business and everything. And the fact that he's coming up to the table saying, oh yeah, she used to, when my armpit hair would get too long. I'm like, you are in your 30s. Like, open a magazine, learn to manscape, shave, comb your hair, take a shower. Like, these are all things that Katie is avoiding at this moment. Yes. Yeah. No, you're totally right. All right, guys. Well, we have over 400 likes, so we will get into the Watch What Happens Live episode right now. Now, I didn't ask you guys what you would rate the episode last night of Vanderpump Rules, but based off of everything that we heard from Tom Schwartz last night, all of the revelations, all of the new Scandival details straight out of his mouth, his feelings, his thoughts, some of the cringy shit that he said, what would you rate last night's Watch What Happens Live 1 to 10?
Oh God, I'm gonna give it. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen, and I'm glad Andy almost had a co-host with John Owen Lowe. Okay, he was great. He was pushing that. He's like, okay, like answer the question. I couldn't take my. I'm gonna have to give it a 10. I loved listening to Tom fumble over and over again. I think Andy Cohen even called it a word salad. It's like you're giving me a lot of words, and Tom does that too. He's a very smart, bright guy. So smart. He's very bright. So he uses these. He just throws out big words, but it's just word, word, word. There's no actual anything behind it. You know what I mean? There's no answer. There's no anything of what he's saying.
I mean, it's coming. Well, yeah, he's talking in circles. We're getting 10s, 9s, 9s, 8s. Schwartz was a mess last night. 3, 10, 10, 10, 8.
I mean, I agree
9.
with Katie at this point. It's like media training, you know, because the media training, it can just let you answer like listen to the question, give an answer, not like think about it. Because when Andy asked Tom, were you Tom's decoy, Tom Sandoval's decoy? He's like, oh, no. I mean, like, you know, like it's just too much thought. So yes, I think you're lying. I totally think he's lying. I think that
think
Tom
about it. He admitted he was lying.
Yeah, I know. They've all admitted they're lying, you know? So who do you believe at this point? I definitely don't believe Schwartz and his answers that he had last night on Watch What Happens Live.
Well, we're going to get into every single detail, but Norma Maldonado said, I am convinced that Sandoval gave Raquel the same narrative about his relationship with Ariana, that it was ending, that it was coming to an end, that it was done. Yeah, 100% he was feeding her that. 1,000,000%. I love you. I'm in love with you. I'm going to leave her. Right now, I'm really concerned for her mental health. I got to figure out everything that's going on with the business. It's not that black and white. It's not that easy. You understand, babe. You know I'm there for you. I don't care about her. I just got to figure it out. We have a home together. It's just different moving parts. We'll be together soon. Oh, he was feeding her all of the sweet nothings. 1,000,000%, Norma.
Yeah.
That is absolutely right. But then even when he was saying, see, Belky is right.
Yes, 100%.
Yes. Even when he was saying all of this stuff, it's like you knew because he mentioned Big Bear with his roommate that he's been going out with, Joe, going to Big Bear, and then Raquel being there. And he's like, what was I supposed to say at that point? They were in love. Well, then it's not just being a decoy. You're still very much so aware and you're still covering.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Angelique said, I fell into the T Schwartz trap at the LA spilling the tea meet. He is actually charismatic and sweet in person. I get it.
I mean 100%. That's why they are great mascots for Tom. When they come in and they get the party started, they're very good at that. You know, they are very charismatic. They're very Schwartz is more of like a listener. So he like listens to people and he takes the time with people, but like a bad liar. Like bad liar.
A very bad liar. I'm going to bring this photo up really quick just while I go through these because I'm going to give you guys the most cringe stuff. Okay. So last night, the Watch What Happens Live episode. Now, obviously, we know that last night Tom and Raquel made out. So Schwartz said, in hindsight, his kiss with Rachel was not worth it. And he admitted that he learned in late August from about the one night stand. He learned in late August about the one night stand with Raquel. Well, Scheana's wedding was August 20 something. So you learned in late August, which means you learned right after the wedding. And Andy Cohen did ask him, was it before or after the kiss? And he said it was after the kiss.
Well, like he does that thing. I mean, listen, if there's one thing I believe Schwartz on is that kiss was not worth it. Not for her, not for him. That was the most awkward kind of kiss I've ever seen. That I don't even know what was happening. It was so weird.
You make it so much more dramatic.
God, it was gross. And you can see him chewing gum before too. And it's like, well, we know you don't take care of your armpit hair, so I'm pretty sure you don't take care of your teeth. So that's all I was thinking about. It was nasty. But
Okay.
I really think that this had been going on far before. And I think that I think that Schwartz knew about this way before. I mean,
Yeah,
that's just my thoughts.
I agree. Okay. So then he also went on to say that since he learned about it in August, that, he felt like they had a one night stand, but then it slowly progressed and it turned into an emotional affair, which is no better. But then he said that Sandoval came to him in January and said that he was actually in love with Raquel. And he said, to be honest with you, a lot of people out there knew it was an open secret of an affair, which
Who's a lot of people?
who? Because
Who?
I could go through and list really quick. Scheana did not know. Lala did not know. James did not know. Lisa Vanderpump did not know. Andy Cohen didn't know. Ariana didn't know. Ali didn't know. Logan, Ariana's best friend,
I was
didn't
going to
know.
say the friends that hang out with them who are not on the show didn't know.
So who? Everybody at Schwartz and Sandy's knew? So then, which makes it even more of an asshole situation, because then what? Ariana was showing up and everybody was like, oh, she's here.
Well, I love how Tom kind of gave it. He's like, I was giving Tom time because Tom said he was going to do the right thing and go about it the right way. Obviously, he got lost in that. And it's like, that is the problem. Okay. Tom has every right. If you want to go do you and be who you are, end the relationship with Ariana. Have the discussion, the conversation with Ariana. Look, I have feelings for someone else. Before I pursue that and go do all that, I need to end this. That's how it should have gone. And whether Tom in his head, I don't know what he was thinking. I really don't. I mean, no one does. That's the mystery of it all. And that's why I can't wait for the reunion, because we desperately want some answers.
Which, by the way, Mary Harding, the bandmates, knew 100%. But
yeah,
we're going to get to the reunion speak in a second. Hold on real quick. He also said that he was fed a narrative that Tom attempted to break up with Ariana multiple times, that Tom placated him. And he asked, why he didn't tell, Andy Cohen asked him, why did you not tell Ariana about this? And he said, Sandoval did a good job of placating me and telling me they were broken up. That is your best friend. That is such a close, incestuous circle of friends. Everybody knows everybody and they all know each other's business. And you're telling me that he told you he broke up with Ariana, but nobody's talking about it. And if he actually broke up with Ariana, don't you think that some people would be talking about it? Or when, you know what I mean? Don't you think it would be a little bit bigger of a thing?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we agree on that. Let's keep it going. He also said that Sandoval is not realizing the negative impact that this has had on his businesses, the band, and last but not least, well, Ariana, of course.
Yeah. It's always, Ariana's always thought about last, right? It's between both of the Toms. When Tom Sandoval kind of made the statement about the business, Schwartz and Sandy's, and to leave that alone, leave the Yelp page alone. People's jobs are there, which I do agree with, but there was no mention of Ariana. And then here it's like Ariana's last thought, to Tom Schwartz, and Ariana has been a very good friend to Tom. So it's so weird to hear that. Right. But, to hear Tom say well, man, Tom is just feeling the heat, he was just in St. Louis and people were threatening him and, well, how were they threatening him? By yelling cheater? I mean, God, you're a public figure. You kind of made a mistake. People are probably going to call you a cheater, and someone wanted to pour beer on him. And I'm like, this is crazy. Who cares? What I did agree with what Tom Schwartz said is no one should be vandalizing anything. No one should be going to Schwartz and Sandy's and trying to vandalize that, as a way of getting back at Tom, but
he also said last night on Watch What Happens Live, he's like, guys, Tom is really going through a hard time right now and he knows what he did was wrong. So if you see him out on the street, just give him a hug. Hold on. I'm going to play you another reaction from one of our Vanderpump Rules cast members.
Lord.
Bear with me.
Okay.
Here we go. I got to find it in our stories real quick. Hold on. This is great. As long as it comes up, because ay. Okay, girl. Come up here. right here. Okay.
Did Schwartzy really just say, if you see Sandoval in the street, give him a hug? We're atomic wedging his ass. We're punching straight in the dick. Do you agree, Mom?
I agree with whatever you say.
This is like me and my mom.
Are you a yes man to me? Do you promote me wedging people and punching them in the dick? Or just Sandoval?
Oh, not everyone.
So who?
Maybe just Sandoval.
Okay, cool. Every time I sit here and say, I'm over Sandoval, I don't want to see it anymore, one of those fucking people just meets another level of buffoonery. And here I am, having to school more motherfuckers on life.
No.
What Schwartz said has made me need to smack my vape 500 times, and I can't fucking find it. Ugh. Spotted.
My gosh.
Lord have
Okay.
mercy. Listen, okay, here's where I love Lala. I love Lala in person. I think she's great. Okay. She doesn't need to be schooling people though. Like that's we don't have to be schooled. I don't know.
Shaylee, would you guys hug Sandoval?
Girl, would you? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's a lot to ask. You know, there is something though that I think we all need to remember, because we get on here, and I agree with what Schwartz said last time I watched What Happens Live. We get on here, we talk about the show. Everyone is heavily invested in this. We're, you know, it's like the whole nation's talking about it. Oh my gosh. Even though there's more important things happening in the world. This is just fun, and it's what we talk about, right? But it is important to take a step back, take a few breaths, and just wait for that reunion and let that play out, because I hear that Ariana, like Tom said last night I watched What Happens Live, Schwartz said, you know, I didn't know that she had that in her, but she came for Tom. She ripped Tom apart. And I think it was just kind of probably well deserved. And I can't wait to see it.
No, I agree. Norma Maldonado. Hi, Norma. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to the Canyon Club this Saturday night to see Sandoval and the most extras. Should I give Sandy a hug like Schwartz suggested? No. Thank you, Norma. Angie, this is a great point. Don't throw a beer on him from the guy who has thrown a drink on both Stassi and Katie. LOL, while I totally agree with not wasting alcohol, hearing it from Schwartz made me smack my forehead.
Yikes. That's a great point. Great comment there.
I mean, listen. Okay, so
what can you say to that? What can you say to that?
You can't, but hold on. There's more. Now, on top of this, Schwartz said that he's more upset with Sandoval than anyone, but he ended up getting lost in the sauce, right? He ended up becoming obsessed with Raquel. He's addicted to her. She is Sandoval's HEROIN. Okay. And I can't use the word, guys. I'm not just like a big baby. And
I mean, for
like,
now.
Yes.
For now.
Yeah, he's infatuated. But how long is that going to last? I feel like Tom Sandoval, especially with the way, and I never want to talk about the way anybody looks or anything. Everybody in the live chat is talking about the way he looks, not me. But I feel like he's going to be one of like those creepy, dirty old men who had it for a little bit in Hollywood, and they sit back and they look all creepy and stuff. And they just always want to hang on or gravitate towards something that's younger and younger and younger, always within the reasonable age limit of being.
I mean, I agree with you. I could see Sandoval like still thinking he's in it when he's, you know, when the rest of the world has moved on. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can see that. Hopefully he won't try to go for the younger woman over and over again. Like give us a Lenny Hochstein.
Now, but to help us wrap off, like if you had to just imagine how this conversation went at the reunion, like, what do you think?
I don't even know, because we don't know. Like we've heard that there might be 3 other like little sit downs individually with Raquel. Okay, there are going on Peacock or something, right? Or are they part of the reunion? We don't know.
We don't know yet. I'm guessing they would be part of the reunion, and I think there's going to be extended versions of the reunion on Peacock.
Lord have mercy. Like talk about content
the ratings
creation.
are there. Promote the shit out of everything.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Like that's the thing. I'll rewatch the reunion with the extra bits in there on Peacock. I don't know how that's going to go down. I don't even know how it's going to start. It sounds like even at the beginning, it got heated right away. So
First 5 minutes, Andy said.
first 5, everyone's coming in with that energy though, like there's not going to be a conversation until a little later in the conversation, right? Everyone has to let out what they've been holding in. So I really don't know. I really hope though that we see a genuine, and I think we will see a genuine apology or really acknowledgement of what Tom, like from Tom and what he's done. I hope that Ariana gets to say her piece. I think a lot of other people would like to say some pieces, because now you're going back and you're watching season and season and season, and you're realizing the hypocrisy of Tom Sandoval throughout all of it. I mean, the hypocrisy of them all, really.
Ay. Michelle Schwartz having no backbone is an act. He's a man-child who just wants to be liked. Michelle, I agree, and thank you for the super chat. No, I think that we know that this pops off within the first 5 minutes. We know that 2 people got into an altercation. It was one of the Toms and James Kennedy, 1,000,000%, and that happens in the first 5 minutes of the reunion. So this is literally, like you said, they're all coming in with this pent-up energy, this aggression, and we're not getting it until the end of May. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be wild, but I think that we pretty much covered everything. Guys, since we have almost 1,500 people in the room, this is absolutely crazy. We just wanted to go ahead and show you one last time that we have. Jason, will you tell them about members only on Monday real quick while I bring this up?
Yeah, of course, guys. So we have our members only that we do every Monday. So you can join members right from Adam's page or right below this video. And every Monday we kind of talk about our experience at the Vanderpump bubble that we used to work in. And this is our new merch designed by Nicole Steffes. It is fantastic, guys. Oh my goodness.
I love
this. I love this photo. I mean, literally, look at that. It's amazing.
Yes. And of course, as you guys know, I love that Shaylee put the crop top in here too. As you guys know, for the new merch too, or any of the merch, if you have joined our members for $2.99 a month, well, it's worth it if you're buying merch anyways, because you get a discount on the merch. And that will be mentioned in the members only community tab. But make sure you go check it out. I'm curious what you guys say in the live chat about the merch as well, because I always like seeing how people are going to react. Sometimes I think something's going to be really great and people love it, and sometimes it's not what I thought. But for this one, by far to date, this is taking the cake.
Like out of the park, huh? So good.
I mean, it's taking the cake. And I keep on seeing a lot of people ordering the pink and blue, which makes me really excited because I always am afraid to put colors on the merch store. But look at this. How could you not put colors on that? So I don't know. I'm just excited. All right, guys. So go check that out. Love it. That's awesome. Love it. Thank you. Okay, great. All right. We will be back tomorrow for our morning meeting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. We are going to be doing a travel vlog from this weekend because Jason and I are going down to Miami to go hang out with someone who a lot of you guys will know. I think I might have mentioned it by now, but we'll just throw it in the travel vlog. That way you guys see. We're going to be catching up with a friend. And also thank you for the super chat, Vanessa D. This has been the craziest time. I just cannot believe I've allowed myself to get so involved. How do you guys deal with it all? Y'all are in it 24/7.
Just in it, you know what? Just to not take it so seriously. It's fun. It's fun to chat about. This is like a book club. We're at that part in the book where we're like, holy hell, we didn't see that coming. So it's just fun to talk about, but can't take it too seriously, right? That's the only advice I'll take from Schwartz. Like, step back, take 3 breaths, and wait for the reunion.
Yes. All right. Well, we have another video pre-record coming up your way today from leaked text messages that are coming out of Jersey. The Real Housewives of New Jersey leaked text messages. Yeah, I'm going to be posting that here in a little bit. I'm just trying to collect more information to see exactly how many of those text messages we can get our hands on. But thank you to everyone in the live chat for joining, engaging. Thank you to all of our moderators. Thank you for our super chat, super stickers. And Jason, are we done?
We're done.
Love you guys. Bye.